What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you've been keeping up with Outlander's final season, you already know things have been absolutely intense. Last week we lost Fergus in one of the most heartbreaking scenes the show has ever done. So today we're breaking down Season 8, Episode 8, titled In the Forest, which aired on April 24th, 2026. I'll cover everything. Every major storyline, every twist, and what it all means heading into the final 2 episodes. Let's get into it. The episode opens right where Episode 7 left off emotionally, with grief. Fergus is gone and the Ridge is still processing that. We open on Jamie and Marsali sharing a drink at Fergus's grave, and it's a quiet, heavy scene. Marsali tells Jamie she's thinking about accepting Percy Beauchamp's offer to rebuild the print shop and continue fighting the war through words and journalism. She says she came to America wanting freedom, and if she's going to risk her life for anything, it should be for something that actually matters. Jamie respects that completely. But then Marsali says something that genuinely hits hard. She tells Jamie that Fergus never wanted to claim Comte Saint-Germain as his father. It had nothing to do with Saint-Germain being a villain. It was simpler than that. Fergus saw himself as Jamie Fraser's son, and that meant everything to him. Jamie is visibly moved. He declares that Fergus will always be a Fraser. He steps away to give Marsali a private moment, and that's when she drops the second bombshell of the scene. She's pregnant. She's crying and laughing at the same time. She tells Fergus he couldn't resist leaving her with one last parting gift. And honestly, it's beautiful and devastating all at once. Now here's the biggest plot development in the episode. One that answers a mystery that's been hanging over the entire season. Remember Frank's book, the one that seems to predict Jamie's death? The dedication was written to someone Frank called Buckeye. Jamie and Claire have been trying to figure out who that is for a while now. Well, in this episode, Buck casually mentions that Frank used to call Brianna Buckeye because of her sharpshooting skills. Jamie stops dead in his tracks. The book was written for Brianna. That one detail unlocks everything. Jamie and Claire start piecing it together. Frank spent years teaching Brianna how to ride horses, how to survive in a different era, giving her a wide and unusual education. As Claire puts it, Frank armed Brianna with the exact knowledge she'd need to survive in the 18th century. Claire then takes it even further. She suggests that Frank deliberately kept the truth from her, that Jamie survived Culloden, so she would stay in the 20th century long enough to become a surgeon. Why? Because that medical skill might be exactly what saves Jamie's life at the Battle of King's Mountain. It's a lot of dots connecting at once. Jamie, ever the realist, reminds her that they've tried to change history before and it hasn't always worked. But Claire pushes back. They've changed small things, insignificant to the grand course of history, but real nonetheless. Maybe his survival could be one of those small changes. It's a deeply hopeful and bittersweet conversation. They end it with a kiss. With the Battle of King's Mountain now just weeks away in the story's timeline, Fraser's Ridge shifts into full war footing. Claire and Fanny are rolling bandages and stocking medical supplies. Jamie and Buck are out drilling the men, getting them ready to fight. And Brianna, she's doing what she does best, applying modern engineering knowledge to their 18th century weapons problem. She successfully modifies one of their rifles so it can reload significantly faster than a standard musket. If it works as planned in battle, it could help level the playing field against British forces. And speaking of engineering, we get a great scene in the makeshift armory where Buck fills Roger in on exactly what happened after Roger left the past. So if you remember, Rob Cameron, the creep who threatened Roger's family and was planning to travel back through time, you've probably been wondering what happened to him. We finally get that answer. After leaving the 18th century, Buck traveled to the Stones at Cray na Dun. He ended up in the 1980s, and the first person he saw was Rob Cameron, buying a gemstone that he clearly planned to use to time travel. Buck followed him home. He confronted Cameron directly, and when Cameron pulled a knife, Buck turned it back on him and killed him. Just like that. Threat eliminated. Buck then grabbed Roger's book, the gemstone, and supplies, and made his way back through time. Roger takes all this in quietly, but the weight of it is clear. Buck killed a man to protect him and his family, and he did it without hesitation. Meanwhile, away from the ridge, we catch up with Lord John. Amaranthus is worried sick about William. He hasn't come home since the events of episode 7, and she's convinced it's because she deceived him. Lord John gently but honestly admits there were other factors too. He and William had their own falling out over a private matter. He reassures her that William is a man of honor and that he's capable of forgiveness. On the Percy Beauchamp front, Percy sends Lord John a letter saying he's tracked down the mysterious Captain Richardson and to meet him in 3 days at a lawyer's office. It seems Percy is finally making good on his promises, but with Percy, you never quite know what's real and what's manipulation. And now to the emotional heart of the episode. William finally comes back and Jamie takes him on a hunting trip. Just the two of them. It's the first real private conversation between father and son, and the episode earns every moment of it. William has been carrying questions for a long time. Why did Jamie leave when William was just a boy? Why didn't he look back as he rode away? He asks them all, and Jamie answers honestly. It's not a perfect resolution. The hurt doesn't just disappear, but there is understanding now and real connection. By the end of it, Jamie and William share a long, tearful hug, and it matters so much because with King's Mountain coming and only 2 episodes left, that hug might need to carry them both for a long time. Finally, there's a quiet but very interesting subplot involving Fanny. Some children cruelly tell Fanny that her sister Jane is in hell because she was a murderer who took her own life. It clearly shakes Fanny deeply. Roger steps in and talks her through it, giving her hope that she and Jane may meet again someday. Fanny then goes to Jane's cairn to speak to her sister privately. She asks for a sign. Almost immediately, she finds a cracked geode on the riverbank. But when she picks it up, it shatters in her hands. A buzzing sound fills the air. She covers her ears like it's painful. If you've watched Outlander for any length of time, you know exactly what that buzzing sound means. It's the same sensation people experience near the standing stones, the ones that allow time travel. This is a big hint that Fanny may have a connection to the stones and possibly the ability to travel through time herself. With only 2 episodes left, that's a thread the show needs to pull on, and fast. And that is everything from Outlander Season 8, Episode 8, In the Forest. Only 2 episodes left, and the show is setting up what looks like an unforgettable finish. The Battle of King's Mountain, Fanny's potential time travel, Jamie and William's bond, and the looming prophecy of Frank's book, all of it is converging. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and drop your thoughts in the comments, especially about Fanny and those stones, because I want to know what you think. I'll see you next week for the episode 9 recap. Take care, everyone.